To start.
Rock concert movement number 1. The basic head bob. Ready, go.
Hi. Bradshaw with you on a Wednesday afternoon. Thanks for coming along. And this is the 19th of September. And I already have my iOS 6. Are you a Android guy? Are you an iPhone guy?
I got an Android.
No, me too for the phone because I like to play with it. But the iPad is one of those things that you don't even know the number of uses you can find for it.
Yeah, I want an iPad. I bought a Nook thinking, well, this is close enough. I like reading, but I would rather have an iPad.
See, if I were, say, the producer of, say, Preparation H, or any sort of those hemorrhoid issue dealer withers, I would subsidize the purchase of an iPad for every American. There is a reason for this. And ask anyone, ask any iPad owner who dares take this into the office. You'll be there longer. You're going to spend more time sitting around, whether it's, Angry Birding or Temple Running or way too many people, by the way, tweet. I don't know if Facebook has a similar phenomenon.
I have a problem on my phone doing that. A lot of my texts and Facebooking comes from the toilet.
I get a lot of my reading done there, and you will spend extra time there. That's just so you think it would be good business for them. It would pay back in spades, and ultimately that's what Steve Jobs will be known for: permanently altering how human beings communicate which food they've eaten, and what we do in the bathroom. And I think that will be his ultimate legacy, and that's okay. Again. Gets it on the in, gets it on the out. We're happy. Speaking of spending a lot of time in the bathroom, I have sad news to report. It pains me to say this, but reports are out today, and this is dire news. This is the dire news I was tweeting about earlier, is that the McRib might not be back until Christmas time. I know. We'll let that sink in for a minute. According to a company memo, was acquired by the publication Advertising Age, instead of its usual October appearance, McDonald's is holding back the McRib until the fourth quarter of the year, not of a football game. Got to make sure sports analogies completely overrun the world of politics. So, allegedly, this is to stem a typical fourth quarter drop in fast food sales. Now, part of that is it's winter. We go out less. When it snows, typically you don't want to, hey, you know what? Let's go pick up a Shamrock Shake and fries. So last year was forecasted and turned out to be a light snow year. Better weather equals more going out, equals more trips through the drive-thru. This year, forecasters say, could be, especially on the East Coast, a much higher snowfall year. But again, even a regular snowfall year would be more than what we got last year. So, this is an effort to stem the drop in sales. Typically, it comes late October, early November, but they're going to push it back about a month and a half. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, because I'm not a huge McDonald's fan. Like, that's not going to cost me my citizenship, is it?
I don't know that I believe you, but
No, I'd rather have like a Burger King, or even these, go to like a burrito joint, or
Bebop's is pretty good.
Bebop's is great. But something when I eat well, I try. I'm not I watch too much Iron Chef. So you want.
I'm convinced the Food Network is killing fast food as we know it.
Well, that's been a goal of, like a lot of the Gordon Ramsays and Jamie Olivers. Like,
sure.
It's not that hard to cook. It really isn't. In spite of what growing up in my mother's household would lead you to believe. It really isn't that hard to whip together a few things. And once you have a few basic skills, you can expand from there. Today is International Talk Like a Pirate Day. So, and Dan said, I have to talk like a pirate. So I downloaded...
There was a threat involved.
Yeah, but I downloaded the new series from Gordon Ramsay. What kind of piracy were you talking about? It's not available here in the U.S. It's from Channel 4, so it's
I
not
wanted
like
a good ARG in there.
No, and cliche.
It's so far above you.
Cliche, I'm telling you. But I downloaded it.
Just do an ARG.
No, it's like...
Just an ARG.
I don't like those...
Shiver me timbers. Something. Come on.
Who shivers your timbers is really your business, and unless I'm the one shivering your timbers, I don't care.
Did you just ask to shiver my timbers?
No.
Because this got real awkward.
No. If I am the one shivering your timbers, then I care very much. Otherwise, it's of no interest to me. But Gordon Ramsay did this. It's like a 7 episode series. And I think they're all just one-offs. It's not like a new Ramsay show. And the stuff he does over in Britain is so far above the crap we get on Fox. It's not even funny. They're like completely Kitchen Nightmares and all that stuff. Completely different shows. And the British versions are far superior. Like Top Gear. And you're not going to top. Don't even try. But it's just a 7-part series on, various cooking tips and easy recipe. Take a chicken. Here's what you do with it. Shove a lemon in a very uncomfortable place. Throw it in the oven for an hour and a half. Boom, this is what you get. And you don't have to, wait 30 minutes for delivery and tip the guy $5, and you should be tipping your pizza guy. It's really not that hard to cook. So when I eat well. But when I don't, when it's just fuel, then cheap is perfectly fine and acceptable, and that's where the fast food meals come in. But there is something special about the McRib. Ever since it disappeared from, the everyday menu, right? There are websites it's like McRib spottings. Youngstown, Ohio, store number 7 has the McRib. Go now. And people would drive hundreds of miles to go get a McRib. So, and I don't know if there was any rhyme or reason to when they would appear at random places. I would assume it was some sort of indirect marketing, which I guess since I'm talking about now, success, touchdown. But for the past few years, it's been an annual, it pops up at the same time, it lasts for a few weeks, and you go and you order like 3 of them. I don't know if you've ever done this. Maybe I'm the strange one here, but you just go get 3.
I usually get 2.
No pickles, because those are foul.
That's the best part about the
Now, the
McRib.
onions, actually.
No, with the pickles and onions with that savory barbecue sauce on that meat-like substance is just amazing.
That's I miss that kind of rubbery, meaty.
You know what it is? It's a nostalgia for our school days.
That's exactly where I was going with this, because for all the complaints we all had as kids about our school lunch programs, and for you brown bag kids, I feel bad for you. There's only so much, pickle loaf one person can eat. There was something magical about the plastic tray, a carton of milk, and whatever happened to be dumped on your plate at any given time. And I still, everyone has, I don't know if this is like my white whale or if eating this will turn me into a white whale. The West Des Moines Community School District burrito and salsa. I've talked about this before, so this isn't anything new. Were the greatest food combination of my childhood. And this includes, by the way, like trips to, Chuck E. Cheese or it was Showbiz Pizza Place at the time.
Yeah, you just dated yourself.
I know. Dude, the Rock-afire explosion still has it to this day.
Showbiz was way better than Chuck E. Cheese. I mean, having the bumper cars and stuff, way better.
Showbiz here didn't have...
Yeah, we did. When it was down over by where Floyd's Sporting Goods was for years.
Not the one on 22nd. That's the one.
No, I went to the Showbiz on Merle Hay.
Oh, you had...
And we had
bumper cars?
They had
bumper
man, we
got ripped off in West Des Moines.
They were amazing.
This was before West Des Moines was truly the pinnacle of Western.
It was before West Des Moines was cool.
Well, the West Des Moines always been cool. Except to drink.
That's debatable. I mean, you do have Valley Junction.
Nothing wrong with Valley Junction. Dude, the theater store there has a full-size mock-up of Darth Vader. So
No, I just mean the area surrounding it.
Oh, that's kind of...
That's sketchy.
You thought the flood would have taken care of that, but anyway.
No, we just bought them all new houses.
There were people like surfing down it in 93. It was good times. But no, that burrito, and I'm sure, again, this is like, grade D, pink slime. I'm sure Branstad would support it. Whatever they put in this thing that was then baked. And then I'm sure this is like the cheapest salsa known to man. Even the guy could be getting strung up in those Pace Picante commercials. And even he would look down on this stuff. But the combination made it good. I don't want to inhale lighter fluid or breathe in anhydrous ammonia, but you mix them together and you get meth. And apparently it's very popular, especially among Midwesterners. It's like you take these two bad things and you put them together and it becomes glorious.
Yeah, I think most of the problems moved to the southern states now, though.
A little shake and bake. Now, chili and cinnamon roll. They always had the same a bowl of chili and then a cinnamon roll, like a big. That was good, but not the same. But the Western one, and I wish I would buy one of those industrial-sized containers of that salsa if I could find it. I'm sure they don't make it anymore. It probably contained DDT or thalidomide or something that was okay back in the 80s, but now would be verboten. But that I can taste it, the crunchy burrito, the horrible salsa that went great with. But yeah, that another staple, and it didn't matter where you went to school, was the processed meat product patty slathered in some sort of barbecue sauce. And I know you can go buy patties and you can go buy bags of burritos. It's not the same. There's something, and maybe it's the meth, I don't know, that they put in the McRib with the bun. And they're a mess to eat. They're always oversauced. But that's fine. You can use the sauce drippings for your fries. Okay, now I'm getting hungry. All I've had today is a Cliff Bar and 2 energy drinks. For humanity. But the McRib is not coming back till Christmas time, which I guess, yippee. It'd be another way to celebrate the holidays, but we're going to have to wait some extra time to get our hands on that was more depressing to me than the news of a more snowy winter.
You did just ruin my day.
I'm sorry. I do. If you've gotten your iOS device, as long as it's not too old, you can get your iOS 6 now. Includes, how you doing, person staring at me through the window? I have Siri now. What is the answer to life, the universe, and everything? A movie. What? What's my name?
You're Bradshaw, but you asked me to call you Master Jedi.
See, it's perfect. I still have to think of a good Siri name for myself, but so there's some good news. In addition to the McRib, I get it. It's cold outside. I'm wearing like sleeves. Shorts, but still sleeves. Fall is coming. Do you know, by the way, Dad, how many shopping days we have until Christmas? Too many? Not enough. This caught me. Toys R Us has their hot toy list because, like most people over the age of 12, I'm clueless when it comes to the toys. But I have, niece and nephew. I got to pick up something. There's only so many miniature Cubs jerseys you can buy for the relative. What got me is all these toys. Furby. How much do you think a Furby is? It's a reboot. A Furby is $60. Yeah. The Hot Wheels RC Terrain Twister, which I thought was something that was sold by Trojan in late night infomercials. I don't know. That's $100. The Leap Pad 2, $100. Or the Ninjago Epic Dragon Battle, $140. And again, I don't want to play like back in my day. I didn't have an onion in my pocket and actually walked downhill most of the way to Crossroads Park Elementary School. But I remember, like, how much was a Cabbage Patch Kid? Like, that was the first toy that encouraged what would later be known as soccer moms to beat each other about the face and chest and over a toy. But I was thinking, those were like $25, $30. No, Cabbage Patch was not $10. No. Cabbage Patch was an investment.
My Furby was only $30.
Yeah, Furby wasn't that expensive.
And I stood in line.
But I mean, you could go, get the ultimate toy growing up. The pinnacle, at least in my generation, was this 3-foot tall Transformer. Were you a Transformers guy, G.I. Joe guy?
Yeah, I had all the Transformers.
Unless you had like really bad parents and they bought you GoBots. Like,
nobody likes the knockoff Transformers. Those are bad.
No, you got me, Leader 1. You suck. I hate you. This, I'm sure, caused for like a third of the runaways back then. But like the prime toy that was unobtainable by most. Like the only person that ever
Omega Supreme or whatever.
No, I had Omega Supreme. Omega Supreme was expensive and fun, but not the pinnacle was Fortress Maximus. It was like 3 feet tall. It was like 3 in one.
I don't think I remember that one. I had the Constructabot, which was always fun.
Devastator.
Yeah.
The Constructicons.
Yeah, I had all of them. They made a big robot.
Yeah. See, those were fun, but those were like, $5 toys, and you buy 5 of them, and they would combine.
Oh no, I got the complete set. It was like 20 of them to make the complete.
No.
Yeah, no, it was huge.
No, there were leg, arm, chest.
Head.
The head was a snap-on piece that you would put on the crane.
I'll have to look
whose
at my
name
set.
I don't remember. There were 5 Constructicons.
There's more than that. There's got to
No.
be. I think there was like.
They had the aerial bots, the Combaticons. That was a gimmick.
My parents really gypped me because my brother got Omega Supreme that year, and I got the Destructicon guy.
Yeah, you probably got ripped off monetary, but the point this was a huge toy that no one got, except for that one kid in every neighborhood who probably had parents that didn't much care for them and just bought him stuff, and you didn't really like him, but you were friends with him because he had, like the ColecoVision and the Nintendo with Rob. You remember Rob? When they first...
I had Coleco, but I don't know any Rob.
When they initially released Nintendo, true story, Rob saved the video game industry. Rob is the reason that your children are addicted to Xbox and shooting and maiming people. After the Atari, the 2600, collapsed because there was no quality control, all the games sucked. They're literally in Utah deserts. They had to bury like hundreds of thousands of unsold cartridges. They trashed them. The video games were dead. Pac-Man fever had subsided. So along come the folks at Nintendo with a video game system. Now, this would be problematic. No one wanted to stock it. Video games were dead. So they included, and it was, this cheap plastic, and all it could really do was pick up one thing. It was called Rob. R-O-B. And the folks at Nintendo said, no, this isn't a video game system. It's a toy. Look at it. You put in the cartridge and it plays the game with you. Oh, well, that's completely different than a video game. Okay, we'll stock that. And then Nintendo big gangbusters, and next thing you know, you've got Dreamcasts and PlayStations. Rob saved the video game industry. But no, back to my point. Fortress Maximus cost $100, and that was huge. That was like 3 Castle Grayskulls or maybe a USS Flag. But that was like out of bounds. That was like beyond comprehension. And now it's $100, $50 is like the cheap one, and that's the Jake and the Neverland Pirates, Jake's musical pirate ship Bucky. I don't know what I just said, but it's going to cost you $50. Like, I understand there's some inflation involved here, but it's kind of like buying expensive clothes for, like, they're just going to, like, poop in it and rip it, so you don't spend a ton of money on. Like, yeah, I splurged and bought my niece a pair of red Converse All-Stars because that's what every child needs. But, like, these are, like, by Easter, will be broken, discarded, moved on to the next hot thing. You could drop $150 on ninja-themed Legos.
Oh, Legos are ridiculous.
I'm this close to just telling someone to get off my lawn.
Yeah, no, Legos are nuts. We bought our kids Legos last Christmas, and we had like $400 and only had 3 sets or something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. And all they really are, it's like, baby's first choking hazard. A reusable sticker set is like, $30. Which kids today don't understand how bad they have it. One of my favorite toys growing up. And lawn darts, which already will get you sued. They were fun. I mean, there was just no way around it. No, one of my favorite toys. And I don't remember the name of this. But what it was like a enclosed plastic contraption. And it came with wax discs and molds. And what you do is you take a mold, you'd put wheels, like little axles, in it, and then you shove that in the machine. Then you took the cartridge of hot wax, or just wax, and it would heat it up. It would melt it, which you would then pour in the mold, and you could make your own wax Hot Wheels cars. And which is great because they burned so much better than the regular Hot Wheels cars when you would attach them to fireworks. And maybe this is something to be repurposed. My child's first 50 Shades of Grey experience. You couldn't sell that today. Like, children would be melting their face off. They'd look at this hot wax and go, delicious. Maybe, I don't know, is it because of the peanut allergies all our kids have gone a little crazy?
There are 6 Destructicons.
6?
6. So, neither one of us were right.
One each?
No, there's 6.
There were 2 in the chest?
6.
Oh, I guess there were 2. Okay, my bad. It's been a while. 2nd grade was a long time ago. Sorry, Mrs. Foley.
These ones are yellow, so these must not be the gin ones. I had the green gin ones.
Well, the green was, the original. There were a lot of Japanese colors. That might be a Japanese. Is the box art in English or Japanese?
It's in English.
Is it?
Yeah.
They might just be G2 ripoffs.
Sure.
I take my Transformers seriously.
I was just don't tell me my Christmas present sucked. That's all.
The
damage that would
were awesome.
That what that would have done to my self-image.
I was more an Aerial Bots guy.
I had all the planes. I loved the planes because the planes were actually, my kids buy those things now and they're such cheap crap. And like I remember the planes, we had them for years and they didn't break and we threw them at each other and they were.
It took it took a lot of work to destroy a GI Joe.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And don't get me wrong. We put in the time and we did the work.
Yeah, you had to tie and quarter them and stretch them with 3 dogs to get it done.
You know what struck me is that you can go to a Toys R Us and like all the toys I grew up with are still there.
Sure.
Like they haven't. Like toys have not advanced.
No, my kid's addicted to Sonic the Hedgehog. That'd been.
Maybe there's only so much you can do with a kung fu grip.
Yeah, they've gone back to Ninja Turtles now. They're basically
all this
the same
stuff
thing.
is being regurgitated. I didn't have a Stretch Armstrong growing up. Like the toys of the '60s didn't show up in the '80s. I didn't have a coonskin cap, so I don't know if we've.
I did have a coonskin cap actually.
I don't know.
And a BB gun,
we all had BB guns
and a rubber band gun. I had an automatic rubber band gun.
I left the BB gun behind when we got laser tag.
Laser tag was fun.
Not like Saul Goodman wants you to invest in a shady business. The buy your own vest, have your own.
But Danny really cares.
Danny does actually sound kind of awesome, but. I don't know. I think we just have reached peak toy. Now we're just recycling everything. Like you can turn on TV and it's a G.I. Joe cartoon and a Transformers cartoon. They added like Pokemon to the list. That's like the only new thing.
Well, look where we're going with video games. They're starting to become so real you can't even tell that they're CGI.
I want to remember the old laser tag in Merle Hay Mall had the
Laser
virtual
X, yep.
reality.
Oh yeah, the old virtual reality helmet. Sure.
Yeah, you could play Lawnmower Man for like $15 for 5 minutes or something like that. I'm surprised that hasn't made its way.
Yeah, I don't know.
To the home yet. Because 3D's that's a dying fad. But the virtual reality has to be like the next big thing. Is there really that big a difference between watching TV on like a 55-inch screen or a 60? Even like a 42-inch versus it's pretty much the same thing. Now your TV has apps on it, but I want my virtual reality. I want my flying car. I have a robot vacuum cleaner, so I'm good on that front. You can get a robot.
I still want a hoverboard.
That would be dangerous.
This sounds fun, though. I mean,
You can
Marty
buy the
McFly
shoes.
made it look good.
Do you see you can buy?
Oh, yeah. No,
the
I've
Back to the
actually seen
Future
them.
shoes?
I've actually...
They're hideous.
Oh, they're ridiculous looking. I don't know why. And they're expensive. I
Yeah.
watched Pawn Stars buy a pair for several $100s or something like that. It was ridiculous.
I'm a Converse guy, but I could wear them. But just looking at this list, like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Secret Sewer Play Layer is $120. All right, I got to take a break, spend some time. Because since I'm apparently now an old man, I am going to go pull my pants up to my nipples because that's apparently what I have to do now. All right, when we come back, oh good, we get to watch the Mideast blow up again. This time it's the French's fault. And when it comes to the Romney campaign, the long knives are already coming out, which are available for purchase at Toys R Us for about $79.99 now. They're Nerf, I'm sure. Email me, radiobradshaw@gmail.com. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/radiobradshaw. Or just go to, as it says on the screen there, thebradshawshow.com. It's got links to everything there if you want to listen to the audio or want to watch archives. It's all there. At thebradshawshow.com. I'll be back after this on webcast1live.com.
I'm just saying. 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 Ching ching. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Feeling alone? God knows and He understands. Chat now with someone who cares at groundwire.net.
Well, hi, I'm Rob Spearman. I'm a broker owner of RE/MAX Real Estate Concepts in Des Moines, Iowa. Give us a call if you're looking at buying or selling a home, or if you're having trouble on your mortgage payments or looking to purchase foreclosures. We have the agents to help you, experienced, outstanding agents. Our office number is 515-276-2872. Or if you'd like to look at homes, go to our website, homeconnectusa.com.
Hi, I'm J. Michael McCoy, and about 20 years ago, I went to a used car salesman by the name of John Hewitt. He had a little shop over there on North 2nd Avenue called John's Auto Sales, and I bought a car. I found that experience to be one that I had never had before from a used car salesman. He was honest, he was dependable, he had integrity, and he did what he said he was going to do. Well, over the years, between my kids and grandkids, I purchased 7 vehicles from John's Auto Sales. And last month, I asked him to be a sponsor. And he said not only would he like to be a sponsor, but he would offer a $100 tithe for every customer that came and bought a car from him directly to the church of your choice. I can tell you about their huge selection. I can tell you about their years of experience. I can tell you about their honest integrity. But all I really need to tell you is that I bought 7 cars, and you can trust them. John's Auto Sales, 5435 2nd Avenue, Des Moines.
You need a good ride when you hit the trail. Trust the man with the cars, and he goes by the name of Big John. Big John. Big John.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
All right, 1:59. Bradshaw with you here on a Wednesday afternoon. Hump Day.
The basic head
Straight up 2 o'clock. Email me, radiobradshaw@gmail.com, or tweet me at Radio Bradshaw, where I am told by Troy, you can get lawn darts. They sell lawn darts again. They don't have the sharp metal spike. Which, how do they work then? Like, a lawn dart without a sharp metal spike is called a shuttlecock. That doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Play wiffle ball while you're at it. By the way, 97 days and 11 hours until Christmas.
Good to know.
In case you want to get your shopping done early.
I think we're just going to skip it this year.
There you go. But now, is there another countdown? Because that's how many days until the war on Christmas? That's, I think, maybe the more...
War on Christmas?
Yeah, this is the annual Fox tradition of how horrible things, I don't know, because a store greeter might say Happy Holidays or something.
Well, there are several holidays surrounding Christmas season.
Yeah, it's just one of those kind of made-up persecution complex feeding mechanisms. Besides, there was a war on... I will admit, there was a war on Christmas. But the winner was decided long ago, and it was commercialism. Which is why you're going to the store to talk to that greeter in the first place. So I don't get what all the hubbub's about. We're probably about a month out from War on Christmas stories. The first time a store puts out Happy Holidays.
Yeah, that doesn't really offend me as a hardcore Christian. I'm not offended by that.
I've never gotten that one other than feeding into the persecution complex.
The Xmas thing I don't really understand, but again, I'm not really...
I thought that was like a thing in the 90s when everything was extreme and our colas went clear.
I think technically X is the Greek symbol for Christ, so originally when that was starting to be used, it was actually just to abbreviate it.
I thought it was just to save ad space.
Yeah, and that's what it ended up... They ended up invoking the Greek symbol. And then people decided they were taking the Christ out of Christmas. And I understand that argument, but again, I know that it's a Greek symbol for Christ, so I'm not that worried about it.
The whole concept just, I find funny. But there is... I don't normally watch The Daily Show. Or sometimes, like, Colbert is best in clips, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, because you'll have like the 3 minutes of genius and the rest is kind of... But I did watch some of The Daily Show last night. It had Salman Rushdie on, and with world events that are going on. Probably a voice we should listen to. He wrote a new book, and the title escapes me, but it's a memoir of his time. And he tells a story of he's sitting at home and gets a call from the BBC. Ring, ring. Hello. Salman Rushdie here. How may I help you? He said, how does it feel to have the Ayatollah Khomeini calling for your death? He had no clue what was going on at the time. Like, bad? Why do you ask? For those of you who maybe missed the 80s, Salman Rushdie wrote a book, The Satanic Verses, which was decried as against Islam, and fatwas were issued for his death. And so his latest memoir, good timing, by the way, and maybe the man can see the future. Available in stores and maybe on International Pirate Day. I'll try to download a copy. Are you happy?
No, just an ARG. Just do one ARG.
I'm new school.
ARG. It's not that hard.
I'm new school. All right, I can talk about Usenet or BitTorrent.
But you just need to talk about your hook and ARG.
No.
You're no fun.
I know. My sick beard set up and my nothing.
Hey, I'm getting my beard grown out for No Shave November. I plan to have a jihad beard in no time.
I'm going to leave that one laying there. They went on to the interesting part of this Salman Rushdie interview was talking about, the outrage machine in the Middle East. And again, while their modus operandi is a little different here in the U.S., the exact same phenomenon exists. The war on Christmas. No, really. In spite of the story being debunked 20 years ago, there was a kid who was pulled out of school for praying over his school lunch. We really mean it this time. That outrage machine exists in the Middle East, and the money sentence was Rushdie saying, "Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. It's just, it has to burn itself out." And I think we're going to see it fired up once again. A French magazine has printed cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad, portraying him naked, I guess. Charlie Hebdo is the satirical weekly. I don't know if it's like the French version. I'm not familiar with it. Another picture, this one on the cover, shows an Orthodox Jew pushing the turbaned figure of Muhammad in a wheelchair. So now we're going to see, I'm sure, more flare-ups. And again, this is one of the things you just need to understand about the Middle East. The same way that there are politicians here in the U.S., there are Vanderplatzes here in the U.S. who use these sorts of issues to, in some cases, make money, gain influence. Maybe you too can become your own, third world warlord, peddling outrage. This isn't a new phenomenon. And it happens over there as well. It's just you have to sort of take these things in context. So we'll see if things blow up. Apparently the French are removing diplomats left and right. And again, you never know when they went nuts over our own little YouTube trailer video moment. There were also attacks on British embassy, German embassy. So there could be.
Who's our? That's not mine. Who's our? That's not mine. That you said our little internet YouTube trailer thing.
Well, the U.S.
That's not the U.S.'s.
Perception in this case is reality. And when you live in a country and you live in a culture...
No, reality is reality. Perception is wrong.
I understand that. But when you live in a country where literally you don't get to make a movie unless it is sanctioned by the government, they literally don't understand.
Well, then they should lobby for more freedom.
Yahoo. They are. But there will always be the left-behinders. The bitter clingers, we'll use that term.
I don't mind the left-behinders. They're going to be left behind.
I'm not talking in a Kirk Cameron sense. They can't, they literally can't fathom a place where just anyone can go on YouTube and, put up anything. That doesn't exist in their world. It would be like explaining quantum mechanics to, a caveman or Sarah Palin.
Did you just say the Middle East is full of cavemen?
No, but
because our tech support comes from the Middle East.
That's the equivalent, though. Their minds don't process that.
You're saying their presuppositions affect their ability to understand that YouTube is a free place for people to...
Now, that would be the less theatrical version of saying it, but yes.
Okay. I disagree.
Again, it's not a world that they've ever inhabited and lived with. The example of Iraqis. Once we overthrew Baghdad, we're asking where they could get statues of George Bush to put in the place of the Saddam statues, because they thought that's how it worked. Try to fathom that for a second. First of all, why would anyone want to put up a statue of George Bush? But they thought they were just kind of replacing one tin pot dictator with another. And in some areas, they were probably right. But for the most part, they don't understand. I mean, our concept. These are not educated, worldly people. That's just the reality we have to deal with. It's not a value judgment. No appeasement factor. It's just, this is the way it is. And you can either choose to deal with reality or deny it at your own peril. Because reality always believes in you. So we'll see what happens through the Mideast in this. Good news today. I don't think I'm eligible to go, but for a multitude of reasons. But I guess, are we no longer using Ann Romney sparingly? We're not afraid people will get tired. That was in the Romney video.
Causes high cholesterol.
That was released. Ann Romney is in town. I have to admit, I'm not familiar with By Design, which KCCI reports is a high-end furniture retailer.
That's because you can't afford anything there.
Probably.
Yeah, it's pretty high. When they're talking high end, they're talking like, here's this couch. It's $15,000.
Yeah, I love IKEA stuff. I do.
Yeah, well, IKEA's, here's this couch. It's $399.
Exactly. You save money by putting it together yourself until your neighbors start banging on the walls because you had to hammer a nail. My God. But she's in town holding a Women for MIT event in Clive. Which sounds like a good time. And I'm sure both of them that are there will tell you what a great time it is.
Both women?
I did miss the Women for Aiken event. They actually found a woman for Aiken. There were pictures posted on Todd Aiken's website. Turns out it was a worker for the Missouri Democratic Party whose job it is to go around and film campaign events. Ever since the macaca moment, this has been kind of common practice, especially when you're dealing with a party that is not quite ready for YouTube. Like the GOP. You go around, you film their events, and they show up, and that's where you find all those fun videos of Steve King saying stupid things, because, yeah, in your mind, this isn't going to show up on the internet for everyone to use, and turns out it does. So, Ann Romney is in town tonight. In an attempt to win Iowa. At this point, it's looking less and less like that's going to matter long term. New poll out today in Virginia showing Romney down 5. Also, some interesting polls out of Massachusetts. No, we're not worried it's going to go red. Even seeing candidates getting out in front to repudiate Romney's 47% statements. One of it is Linda McMahon, who is running for the Senate in Connecticut. Yes, she is of those McMahons. Came out yesterday. Said, I disagree with Governor Romney's insinuation that 47% of Americans believe they are victims who must depend on the government for their care. I know the vast majority of those who rely on government are not in that situation because they want to be. That's a pretty bold statement. One problem is, when she launched her campaign last September, said, I'd like to see everyone pay their fair share. 47% of the people today don't pay any taxes. So let's have a fair tax code where everyone pays their taxes. Now, look, I like a woman that goes both ways as much as the next guy. But with an 0-1 record running for office, I don't know if that's necessarily the route you take. But I think it is a sign that you're going to see people running away from the Romney campaign. And for a number of reasons, not just that smells like loser and I don't want to be associated. Because these puddles he steps in. And will they affect his coattails? That's the number one Republican fear. Isn't that Mitt Romney will lose? They went into this election cycle expecting to lose the White House. That's why none of the serious Republicans ran. The number one fear was that the top of the ticket, because the presidential election is always going to suck the oxygen out of the room. This isn't like a midterm election where we spend a lot of time talking about, who's a witch and who's not. This is going to be a case of, will Mitt Romney's coattails cause cancer, spread cholera, dysentery? And fear of moving into that territory is starting to show, whether it's the don't blame me, you should see how stupid this other guy is articles that are already coming out 7 weeks in front of the election. But now even, the Kevin Bacons from Animal House, everything is fine, are starting to worry out loud. I don't know, is Peggy Noonan the canary in a coal mine? Anyway, email me, radiobradshaw@gmail.com, or follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/radiobradshaw, or just go to thebradshawshow.com. It's got links there to archives and everything that one might need at thebradshawshow.com. I guess I'm doing this backwards because I'm looking at a screen. So we'll start over here. thebradshawshow.com. It's a little counterintuitive, but you know what I mean. Stop by for all of your audio-visual needs. We'll take care of you. When we come back, the long knives are coming out for Mr. Romney. Talk about that and when we come back here on webcast1live.com.
Leach, owner and general manager of Service Legends. I brought along a couple of the home comfort heroes.
Hi, I'm Tammy Wells.
I am Nick Wondershot.
I am administrative manager.
I am the senior technician
from Service Legends.
It seems like every good thing, when you feel it to the bone that it's good, there's a lot of hard work put behind it. I don't think that you can fake it and have it turn out good.
If we seemed like, okay, that's just weird, it's just a furnace, why would you believe so deeply in a furnace? It's not just that, we want to show the world that you can have good service.
Yeah, it's got to be, it's your home.
It's built into our daily trainings, it's built into our culture, that we're going to do whatever it takes to have each client say they love us, period.
That's why we spend all the hours in the training that we do. And if we guarantee it's going to be a good experience for you, or else it's free, what type of work do you think we're going to do?
There is a guarantee.
Temperature selection guarantee, fixed rider it's free guarantee, comfort guarantee, best value guarantee. All of these guarantees hold us accountable to ensuring that we exceed your expectations. And if for whatever reason we'd fail and we can't make it right, we guarantee all of those guarantees with a 100% money-back guarantee.
If you don't think that your technician can fix it right, are you going to say that to a client? No.
You don't have to worry about having a technician come to your house.
We drug test, background check all of our team members. We put safe people in your home. Each and every one of our service techs, 400 hours a year in training.
You tell it the minute they walk in the door. They know what they're doing, they've done their homework, and they actually truly care about what you want.
Because at the end of the day, you're the person that makes sure I have a job.
They're going to be listening. They're going to want to know what your challenges are. Then they're going to come and give you options, and you get to choose.
If I'm there to help and I make it easy and painless, I did my job right that day.
Well, when it comes to your comfort, safety, and your family, you don't necessarily go buy the most expensive, but you get the most bang for your buck.
Oh, it's worth it, because there's a lot of people that will find a way to get it to work right now and then leave and then come back, charge you again, and the cycle just repeats itself. So when I'm out there looking at the furnace, I want to find why it failed today. How can we change the part today with something that you're not going to have to worry about? Is it worth changing the part today? You can put a lot of money into a furnace. I can fix parts all day. There's good job security in that for me. But is it the right thing for you?
I get a lot of the phone calls of after the technicians are there. They're just in awe. They're like, wow, you guys are great. I don't even know what to say. You guys are great. Everything you did was perfect. It was great.
Keep going, though. I like this.
Just give us a try. I'm going to take all the risk.
I've got the time to make this right. I've got the support to make it right.
Just check us out.
And if you don't see the value in what we do,
fixed rider, it's free or 100% money back.
Enough said.
Third time's a charm. There we go. 219 Bradshaw with you, winding things down on a Wednesday afternoon. Sad news again today about the McRib. Not till Christmas time. Is this part of the war on Christmas? I guess war on Hanukkah. 244-0077. Email radiobradshaw@gmail.com. And follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Radio Bradshaw.
Well, they did announce it during the Jewish New Year.
Oy.
Yeah. Yeah, see, it's the war on the Jewish people in general. McDonald's hates them.
Anyway, something that's caught my eye the last few days. You always see the campaign infighting, but you don't normally see it 7 weeks before an election. There are always, blame to go around. Why we didn't win Indiana and those sorts of stories. In this case, though, it's a little strange to see them ahead of time. Former Reaganite Peggy Noonan. For those of you who don't remember, by the way, 2008, she was the one caught on an open mic. She had done just a quick piece with Chuck Todd, and there's usually kibitzing after the conversation, and got picked up by the satellite feed and ended up being released, where she was calling the 2008 election over. September, October, relatively early, and using some language you might not want the children to hear. But again, that wasn't the message she was spouting in public, and certainly wasn't what she was writing to be published. So to see this piece, what should Mitt Romney do now? He should peer deep into the abyss. He should look straight into the heart of darkness, where lies a Republican defeat in a year the Republican presidential candidate almost couldn't lose. He should imagine what it will mean for the country, for great political philosophy, conservatism, and for his party, and last, for himself. He must look down unblinkingly. Then he needs to snap out of it and move. She talks about the two big flubs. On the Mideast, he seemed like a political opportunist, not big and not wise, but small and tinny. It mattered because the crisis was one of those moments where people look at you and imagine you as president. Then his comments released last night and made months ago the private fundraiser in Boca Raton, Florida. Mitt Romney has relearned what 4 years ago Senator Barack Obama learned: there's no such thing as private when you're a candidate with a mic. And she breaks down some of what was wrong with Romney's analysis of this 47%, which, yes, at one point included his own father. He said, this is not how big leaders talk. It's how shallow campaign operatives talk. They slice and dice the electorate like that. They see everything as determined by this interest or that. They're usually young enough and dumb enough that no one holds it against them. But they don't know anything. They don't know much about America. We're a big, complicated nation. Again, this is a Reaganite Republican operative. Romney's theory of the case is all wrong. His understanding of the political topography is wrong. His tone is fatalistic. You know what Romney sounded like? Like a kid new to politics who thinks he got the inside lowdown on how it works from some operative. But those old operatives, they never know how it works. They knew how it worked for one cycle back in the day. They're jockeys who rode Seabiscuit and thought they won a race. Not the most timely of references, but you get her point here. It's time to admit the Romney campaign is an incompetent one. It's not big, it's not brave, it's not thoughtfully tackling great issues. It's always been too small for the moment. All the activists, party supporters, and big donors should be pushing for change. People want to focus on who's the top is least constructive and most responsible. Fine, but Mitt Romney is no puppet. He chooses who to listen to. An intervention is in order. Mitt, this isn't working. Now, what Peggy Noonan ignores here is that when you look at activists, party supporters, and big donors, they are pushing for change. But amongst those three groups, and even within those three groups, they're all pushing in a different direction. The activists, for example, have already started decrying like this is some sort of Nixonian James O'Keefe cover-up. And we'll forget for a moment the irony of Breitbart people arguing about an edited tape. They are, at the same time, as we speak, arguing that this Mitt Romney moment is great. This is the message he should have been giving all along. This is, well, what our friends on talk radio tell us all the time. And this is what Fox News tells us all the time. It's got to be great. It's got to be right. It worked on me. It'll work on everybody. Right? At the same time, Mother Jones has put out a horrible, slanderous hit piece. So we like what he said, but the fact that what he said came... I'm not going to try to understand that mind. It's an awful hit piece, and yay, this is the message that Mitt Romney should be giving over and over again. Ron emails radiobradshaw@gmail.com. Sends me a... Limbaugh says, the video is a golden opportunity for Romney. Yes, use the message on the, stump that we give on the radio all the time. Kind of that with no forethought as to why perhaps that might not be the best idea. And says, I so badly want Mittens to switch to what we might call the rush plan for the final stretch of this unbearably long campaign. Mock and heap derision on the unfortunate and celebrate the comfortably insulated. To quote the old SNL punchline, yeah, that's the ticket. And by the way, Mittens is no longer operative. When you're looking to make a disparaging remark about Willard Mitt Romney, the correct term now is money boo-boo. So please update your calendars and email lists. But Pagan Una runs through some of the things Romney should do. Again, this is different from what the activists want. This is different from what the party establishment wants. And this is what different than the big donors want. And again, it's literally pulling Mitt Romney in 3, 4, 5 different directions at the same time. Not easy to do. This is that fraying of the Republican coalition. This goes back to, again, the Reaganites finally taking over the Republican Party, the culmination of the Goldwater Revolution. And it was people like Grover Norquist sit around the metaphorical table and, hey, if we all pull together, we can all get 80% of what we want. Or we can infight and, best of luck. And that coalition held strong. The strain of the Bush years kind of put that to a stop. So now you have the religious side pulling in one direction, and they're kind of distrustful of Mitt Romney to begin with. The big business side sees, this works for us. We don't see what the problem is for everyone else. The Tea Party groups, well, no one can ever figure out what they want. They can't even figure out what they want, but as soon as they're told, man, they will want it a lot. And the big money people simply, just win. But begging is, it's time for the party to step up. Romney should go out there every day, surrounded by the most persuasive, interesting, and articulate members of his party. Which seems to me to be an admission that perhaps Mitt Romney is not persuasive, interesting. He is relatively articulate. He looked very comfortable in that Mother Jones video. Far more comfortable than he looks on the stump. That he should surround himself with conservatives like Mitch Daniels, Jeb Bush, and the young ones like Susana Martinez, Chris Christie, and Marco Rubio. The problem is, you put those people on a stage, maybe with the exception of Mitch Daniels, most will outshine Mitt Romney. Or like Susana Martinez, governor of New Mexico, who yesterday said she publicly disagrees with Romney's 47% comment, so you probably strike her from the list. Again, while it is interesting to see that Peggy Noonan has the long knives out, she's making the same mistake that Mitt Romney is in believing their own press releases, believing their own spin, the Prohl feed. She is buying into the old adage that has served conservatives well, that conservatism never fails. People only fail conservatism. This is the excuse for the Bush years, or, well, any setback among the we surround them crowd. That the message is great and everyone agrees with us, and the only problem is the messenger. Not so much. When you look at the numbers, we raise taxes on millionaires, or poor people tax too much. The numbers don't go Mitt Romney's way. This is why yesterday we saw an attempt to change the conversation. In a stunning coincidence, the Drudge Report happened to receive a video of Barack Obama in 1998 saying, "I believe in redistribution." Which, again, that message worked very well during the Republican victories of 2008. And I assume this was some sort of, in case of emergency, break glass, leak to Drudge. Because within an hour it was conveniently being talked about with Neil Cavuto and the Mitt Romney show. I assume this was the October surprise, and in case of emergency, break glass. Didn't work, but it was a nice attempt. And if anything, it is proof positive that, well, Noonan's right. Not necessarily for the right reason, but she is right that this is an incompetent campaign that is having problems. I just don't think this is a party that has the faculties at the moment to fix them. And I don't think they're going to prove me wrong. All right, email me, radiobradshaw@gmail.com. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/radiobradshaw. Just stop by thebradshawshow.com. You can always find show archives and contact information. It's all there at thebradshawshow.com. And I will see you fine folks online and back here tomorrow at 1:30 as we reconvene. Who knows what will have blown up by then? Let's find out together. Thanks for watching here on webcast1live.com.